Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. A few things before we get started. I want to lay out exactly how this episode is going to be set up. I'm going to take a look at each of the major players. I'm not going to dig my way through all the bench guys and all the bullpen pieces. I'm going to cover the main guys, the starters, the rotation, and the back end of the bullpen guys. And we're going to hand out grades based on the performance of the ball club this year. Now, I'm kind of grading on what was expected, right? Now, some guys we didn't expect a lot out of, and they've overperformed. And some guys we expected improvement or expected them to play better than they have, and they've underperformed. And that will contribute to my grade. But as always, this is just for fun. This has no real-world value, so don't get angry if I give your guy a B when you think he deserves an A, or if I give your guy an A and you think he deserves a B. Some guys started off hot and cooled off. Some guys started off cool and heated up. So I'm trying to base it on the whole season and take everything that we've seen so far into account. Post your grades in the chat. And obviously everybody has their own grading system, so feel free to disagree. I think some of them are going to be obvious. I mean, Aaron Judge, 35 home runs at the break, has had a pretty solid year. Spoiler. But yeah, post your grades, and hopefully you won't hate mine too much. Also, I've been asked to tell you guys about Chat BCC. It's a system that allows you to interact with us here at the Foul Territory Network. Not only me, but, AJ Brzezinski, Eric Kratz, Scott Braun, all those guys. So head on over to foulterritory.chat. They've got a trivia game going on right now where they're giving away a couple of baseball jerseys, $400 value. So if you're into baseball trivia, fire that up. But let's begin with Austin Wells. Now, you guys will notice that my WAR is based on Baseball Reference WAR. I just find their system easier to work with, so I tend to rely on BWAR for my WAR calculations. Now, Austin Wells is one of these guys who we expected a lot from, and he's kind of underperformed in some areas. Now, you look at the 14 home runs. He's already got a career best in home runs. His OPS is not bad, 739. He's driven in 53 runs, so over the course of a full 162, that would be on pace for over 100 RBI. So he's been productive. But you look at the WAR, over half a season now, we're 96 games in, and he's under replacement level. So replacement, like a league average would be 2.0. That'd be a league average player. Anything under that, you consider like a replacement level player. The defense is hard to quantify because his defense is mostly framing. The framing has been good, but he doesn't throw out a lot of runners. So I'm going mostly on average defender is kind of what I evaluate him as, maybe a little bit above average in some areas. But I'm looking at his offense. And to me, he has not been quite as consistent as you'd like him to be in terms of getting hits. 226 average. He did have some health problems, but the power has been there. Production's been there. I'm giving him a C. And I'm seeing some C's. I'm seeing some B pluses in the chat. But I'm going with a C for Austin Wells. Let me know what you think. And hey, C is not bad. That's about average. Paul Goldschmidt.
Required.
Now, Paul Goldschmidt is a guy who I was not super high on when they signed him, but he impressed me coming out of the gate. He got off to a really good start. He was hitting about 350 for a while, but you have to take into account the whole season. He's gone ice cold for a while. He just recently started heating back up. For a first baseman, you'd like more power than 8 home runs in 96 games. You want your first baseman to hit 25 bombs. I don't think he's going to get there. I think he's going to have 15 or 16 home runs, but he is making contact. He's one of these guys difficult to strike out. He's had a lot of big RBIs. He's only got 36 RBIs, so he hasn't driven in a ton of runs, but I feel like he's driven in some big runs so far. And the 116 OPS means he's 16% above league average at his position. So I'm giving him a B+. Based on expectations, I would have expected him to be a C, a C-. So his hot start kind of outweighs some of that for me. Can't put him in the A category anymore just because of that big cold slump while the Yankees were doing bad. So he, to me, falls to a B+, but still very solid grade. James says he likes Goldie's attitude. I like his attitude, too. Juan Soto says Goldie gets a B+. Lori C has given him a C+. Larry is going with a B. So, I think it's good when there's debate and there's a lot of varied opinion here. Let's move on to Mr. Jazz Chisum. Jazz Chisum, 250 average, 17 home runs. The OPS really stands out, 861. The OPS plus, 137 OPS plus, and that means he's 37% better than league average offensively. 43 RBIs in 65 games. Now, he did miss about 30 games with that injury, and he's been a little bit injury prone this year. He's had some issues. He's had some shoulder issues. He has started playing at 70%, he said, just to ease back on how hard he pushes his body and just let his natural athleticism, natural quick twitch, muscle speed take over. And defensively, he's been up or down. He's been throwing the ball into the seats a lot, which you don't want. He's been a little bit wild at third base. They moved him back to second base, and he still threw one away, although I'm crediting some of that to Oswaldo Pena giving him a bad feed the other day. But overall, I've been pretty satisfied with Jazz Chisum. I'm giving him a B on the season. Love his attitude. James likes his attitude. Lord Raiden says, B+, if he fixed his swing earlier, he'd be an easy A. I agree. I also love that he is not resistant to change, okay? This is a guy who started the season with a torpedo bat and then basically ditched it when he came back from the IL. And I like that because that means he's willing to make the adjustments, right? He's not going to be stuck in his ways. Josh says B+. So, once again, B. And he's been great after the injury. Since the injury, I would say he's been A-, maybe even an A.
It's just a reaction.
Anthony Vulpi. You notice right off the bat here, I gave him a D-, just barely passing. Like me in algebra class. 214 average, obviously terrible. 10 home runs, not horrible. He's shown some pop, but a lot of that was that first weekend. And if you recall, and you can probably go back and watch this, one of the early post games that we did this year, maybe third or fourth game of the season, after he had a few home runs, I said, I hope he doesn't try and become a home run hitter with this new torpedo bat and fall under the illusion that he is a home run hitter, because he's not. The guy that Vulpi needs to be is the guy who sacrifices a little bit of exit velocity to put the ball in play. And he was that guy for the first part of last year up until about June, and then the wheels fell off because his swing got too big. This year, his swing has started off big, and it stayed big. And he should sacrifice a little bit of power for contact if he wants to be better. And defensively, he's taken a step back. So I'm giving him a D- on the season. Only saving grace for him is he has driven in 49 runs. Okay, so he's been about league average, 1.2 B WAR right now, but the offense has got to be better. You're a premier position in Major League Baseball in a big city, big market. You got to have a premier player at that position. Oswaldo Pena, he is an F for me. Yeah, he's shown some sparklers on defense, but he's also had some bonehead plays on defense. Hitting 149. He's basically hitting worse than a pitcher. 3 home runs, 456 OPS, 28 OPS plus. I can't even believe he's in the major leagues at that point. 13 RBIs. He has appeared in 63 games, so you can't say that he hasn't had his opportunities. He's just been bad. He's been a complete disappointment. This is a guy who was a former number 1 overall prospect for the Yankees. The swing path is not good. I like his attitude. I like his arm. I love his hands. I think he's going to be a premier defender for his entire career, and he's going to bounce around from team to team. But to me, he's Tyler Wade. Just can't hit. And Tyler Wade might even be a better hitter, right? So Oswaldo Pena, unfortunately, gets the F for me. Carlos Alvarez has F-. Yeah, he's been bad. Jason Dominguez. Proof that the Yankees can occasionally produce something from their farm system. Hitting 266, 8 home runs, 760 OPS, 112 OPS plus, so he's been 12% above league average. The defense has not been great, but he's been getting better. 34 RBIs in 80 games. He had a 3 home run game. He had a walk-off home run. And I think they've done a nice job on the Yes Network covering on the broadcast, showcasing how he has developed over the years, right over the year. Early on, no chance against lefties. Later, he's been better. Not great, but better. He's had some soft hits against lefties, but hits nonetheless. He's done a great job running the bases. Great job. And I love his attitude. I love his ability to bring energy and inject energy into the team. And I feel like he's going to be a really good player. Probably not Rookie of the Year, unfortunately, but you never know. Maybe it's 15 home runs in the second half. Who knows? But so far, I'm giving him a B-, which is not bad. Not bad. Could be better. I would like to see a bit more pop. I would have hoped he would have had 15 home runs by now, but that's a lot. That's asking a lot of a rookie. Next, Cody Bellinger.
Get in my belly.
Now, Bellinger, we were all wondering if he would be more like the guy from the Cubs a couple of years ago than the guy he was last year with the Cubs, and so far he has been. Now, the average hasn't been as high, but he's hitting .282. He's hitting really, really well after that initial tough start to the year. 16 home runs, .830 OPS, 126 OPS plus. He's driven in 54 runs. He's got a 3.1 BWAR. Honestly, he's approaching the type of player that he was in 2023, I believe it was. I believe he had a 5 WAR that year. So he's on pace to get close to that. So the question is, will he opt out and try and get a big contract? Can he keep this up in the second half? But right now, I'm giving Cody Bellinger a B+. A very solid B+. 3 home run game the other day. We got some A's. We got some A-. I can't give him an A just because of the slow start, right? An A to me is, minus the occasional bad game, great start to finish, Giancarlo Stanton. I have to give him an incomplete. Now, he's looked like Giancarlo since coming back. I got the wrong stat for him. He does not have 63 games played. I'm going to remove that. I just a typo there. But he does have 4 home runs. He's got a 783 OPS, 117 OPS plus since coming back. But again, not enough reps to really give him a complete grade. But I'd say so far, just what we've seen, I give him a B-. He continues to strike out, doesn't run the bases at all, doesn't play defense, but he's got pop and can change games. And but I'm giving him an incomplete. I think he, by the end of the year, will be at least a B-. Ben Rice. Ben Rice, 235 average, 14 home runs, 791 OPS, 119 OPS plus, so 19% above league average. He's got 31 ribbies and a 0.9 BWAR. Now, I did not expect this kind of production out of him. And he has been a little bit unlucky, so that 235 average is a little bit deceptive. I mean, his expected batting average is much higher, but he's been basically a 25 to 30 home run bat when he's been in the lineup. I am giving him a B+ on the year with hope that next year he can be our starting first baseman and maybe hit 35 home runs. Like, he's shown to be that type of hitter. He has been healthy to this point. He's caught some games. He's played first base. I mean, he runs the bases fine. He seems like he's a good young player. Again, more proof that the Yankees can develop talent in their minor leagues. A lot of B's and a lot of B- in the chat. Larry says Uncle Ben gets a B. VFS says C-. He's dropped off from his start. That's fair. He has dropped off from his start, but he was incredibly hot. Like, he was playing at like an A+ level to start the season, so some regression to the mean was expected. Let's go to Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham, I'm giving him an A-. He has been a nice surprise for me. I did not expect him to play very much. Again, this is one of those things where it's the perception of what he was going to do versus what he's actually done. He's got 791 OPS. He's probably going to hit 25 home runs. He's got 16 home runs on the year, 127 OPS plus, 33 RBIs in 79 games, and a 2.4 BWAR, and really, really solid defense. Again, he's regressed. He was hitting 300 a few weeks ago, so he's had a cold streak, but he's bounced back a little bit. Like, we've seen him get some big hits, so I'm confident that he's going to continue to produce in the second half. Right now, giving Trent Grisham the A-. A- for Trent Grisham. YOLO says A-. Does the job. Michael Puma says A. We got some B+. Excalibur says B+. Lori C. giving the B for Trent Grisham. And then VFS says trade him now while his value is high. All right, here comes the big one, Mr. Aaron Judge. I think that Aaron Judge is about as close to the A+ as you can get, and so I gave him an A+. I mean, he's had one or two little slumps, but he's got a 7 BWAR on the season. It's on pace for one of the best WAR seasons of all time. It's It's hard to get much better than that. 355 average, 35 home runs at the break, 1.194 OPS, 228 OPS, so he's 128% better than the average player. Offensively, I mean, he's just sick. He's as good as it gets. He's my favorite Yankee right now. He's insane. So A+ for Aaron Judge, who I think is probably going to win another MVP, and really should be his 4th MVP because he got robbed his first year. But big no-brainer from Aaron Judge. All right, leave your grades in the chat. We got a quick ad from the guys at Foul Territory, and then we'll do Fried, Rodon, Warren, Stroman, Schmidt, Yarbrough, Weaver, and Devin Williams. Got the pitching staff up next in 60 seconds.
Scott, you have a Built Rewards card, right?
I do, Kratz. I pay a lot of money in rent, and now I get something for that. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and much more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock 2 powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or where your landlord is, your rent now works for you, and you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, and much more. Unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/foul. That's joinbilt.com/FOUL. Make sure to use our URL so that they know we sent you.
All right, thanks to the sponsor. All right, so next up is Max Fried. To me, he's an A+. I mean, worth every single penny, and obviously fighting a blister right now. We hope that he comes back strong in the second half, but 11-3 record, 2.43 ERA. He's made 20 starts, got 122 innings pitched, 113 strikeouts, 3.1 B-WAR on the season, 9 home runs allowed. So he has kept the ball in the ballpark. He has had a really, really solid year. I don't think there's any doubt. Max Fried, A+. We got some A's in the chat. Michael Puma giving me an A+ for the first half. I appreciate it. I give myself a B-. I've been making a lot of reckless mistakes here in the last couple weeks because I'm tired. Because you do, this is 96 post games plus I don't know how many voicemail shows and random shows. I mean, probably 120, 130 shows so far over the first few months, and you just start to get worn out, right? So that's one of the reasons that after today I'm taking a few days off. I gotta reset the batteries a little bit. Carlos Rodon.
That'll be in there for strike 3.
I'm giving Rodon an A-. The only reason that he's not an A or an A+ is because of the 15 home runs allowed. Got off to a tough start. He is 10-6 on the year, 3.08 ERA. He's appeared in 20 games, 119 2/3 innings, 135 strikeouts, and again, 15 home runs allowed, 2.9 B-WAR. So, yeah, I'm giving him an A- on the season. We've also got some people saying A-. We got a Max Fried saying a solid A. And then Rodon, B+ from Lori C. Excalibur going with an A. VFS, Rodon, an A. What a comeback season for him. Yeah, I mean, he's another guy who's shown a ton of resilience. Going to be an American League All-Star. A-. Will Warren. Giving him a B+. I never thought I would do this. If you've been watching this show for a long time, you knew I was not a believer in Will Warren because of what we saw last year. He was just hitting way too many bats. But he's another guy that has impressed me with his resilience, his stick-to-itiveness. 6-5 record, 4.63 ERA. But that ERA is a little bit deceptive. He's been solid way more often than not, but when he's been bad, he's been really hit hard. 95 1/3 innings, 112 strikeouts, so more than a strikeout per innings pitched. Again, 9 home runs allowed, 0.5 B-WAR. I thought that would be higher, just given his overall performance, but he's done well. I'm giving him a B+. I mean, I could go with a B for him, but I'm just giving him that little extra few points just for his attitude, for his resilience, for how he's bounced back after a really, really tough year last year. And then also the fact that he stayed healthy. I mean, this guy's made 20 starts as a rookie. He keeps taking the ball. He keeps showing up. That's got to count for something. So B+ for Will Warren. Next, we're going to Clark Schmidt, who unfortunately has his final grade on the season. I'm giving him a B+. He is 4-4 with a 3.32 ERA, and it will end that way because he is having Tommy John surgery. But I thought he was phenomenal. 14 games started, 78 2/3 innings, 73 strikeouts. He had a scoreless inning streak of 28 1/3 innings. I really hope he can get well soon, but we're not going to see him at all next year, I'm sure, unless there's some kind of a medical miracle. But Clark Schmidt, B+ for me. And now the other end of the spectrum, Marcus Stroman. Giving him just a solid F. I almost gave him a D- because he's pitched better his last couple of times out. But 6.66 ERA in 6 games. He really hasn't been able to take the ball. He hasn't really been available. Negative WAR total on the season, 0.3. Only 15 strikeouts in 24 1/3 innings. I think he's pretty much cooked, but he was solid his last couple times out. So this one was originally a D-, and then I changed it to an F. I could easily be a D-. Could be an incomplete, but I'm giving him an F right now because we expected him to at least take the ball and fill in for some of these guys that were hurt, Luis Gil, Garrett Cole, and he's been mostly unavailable. And when he has pitched, for the most part, he has not been good. Next, Ryan Yarbrough. Ryan Yarbrough gets a B+ for me. He could also get an incomplete, but he's a guy we did not expect to start, and he has done a great job starting games for this team. He is injured right now. Again, you have to dock him a little bit for availability. Otherwise, I think he would have been an A. The ERA is a little bit inflated by a bad game or two, but he was really, really solid. He was keeping guys off base. He did allow too many home runs, 10 home runs allowed, but I can't wait to have this guy back. He was super, super reliable. Next up, we're going to the bullpen. Luke Weaver getting a B-. 1-3 on the season, 2.91 ERA. For me, he's given up too many home runs. He's allowed 6 home runs already. Since he's come back from his injury, he has not been the same guy. It might be mechanics. It could be that he's not fully healthy, but he's not been the same guy. We need him to get dominant again and fast. Hopefully, during this layoff here, during the All-Star break, he can rest up, heal up, and come out of the gate strong in the second half. But B- for the Dreamweaver. And then, last but not least,
That'll be in there for
Devin Williams, who I am giving a C on the year. 3-3 with a 4.58 ERA, 39 appearances, so he's been healthy. He has not had any signs of that back injury that he had last year. 46 strikeouts in 35 1/3 innings. He's only allowed 1 home run, but he got off to such a bad start that it's hard to give him much better than a C. This is one of those guys who could be a pick to rise in the second half. He's looked much more comfortable lately, and hopefully he is able to pitch better. So I'm giving him a C right now with room for improvement in the second half. So let me know what you think in the chat. We got some C's here. All right, let's move on to some voicemails here. We got a few voicemails. We got Brian, who wants to grade the whole org.
What's up, Derek? I know you were going to do a video on some evaluations today. Wasn't going to give really any player evaluations, but if you didn't mind, I would say some of my organizational grades. And Brian Cashman, in general, in my opinion, is probably the lowest grade on the list. He would have to be somewhere between a D+ and a C-. The only saving grace on his grading this year would be Max Fried, which was a great pickup. It truly was. But the roster construction is weak. The Yankees can't hit left-handed pitching. We don't have the same type of infield depth that we've had in years past. We got 4 quality starting outfielders that we can't get enough playing time to. It's just he's weak. Booney.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, because he did have to pivot when they lost Juan Soto, and I like the pivot. I love what they've gotten from Goldschmidt. Obviously, Fried was a no-brainer, and then Bellinger. I mean, he got him for a cup of coffee, right? They traded Cody Poteet to pick up a guy who's got an 830 OPS. So I'm not going to give Cashman too much grief, but Boone has been terrible. I'm giving Boone a C- for this team. I feel like he has pushed a lot of the wrong buttons, especially in the bullpen. The lineup is still too different every single day. So, yeah, not a good year for Aaron Boone. Call here about Vulpi.
Hey, Derek. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's doing well. Anthony Vulpi needs to bat ninth. The Yankees need to figure out a way to trade for players. He needs to be a number 9 hitter for them to be successful. Enough with this, him batting 6th, 7th experiment. It's not working. He needs.
Appreciate the call. Only problem is you still got Oswaldo Pena in the lineup most days, and he is not as good as Anthony Vulpi, right? So you really want him hitting ahead of Vulpi? I don't know. I'd prefer to give that extra at bat if it comes down to it to Vulpi rather than Oswaldo Pena, because Peraza's shown me nothing offensively. But, hey, everybody, appreciate you tuning in. Leave your grades in the comments. Let us know what you think. Call in. We're going to do a show probably Thursday night. But Yankees back in action on Friday. I'm going to go see Superman. I'll catch you guys later. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through nydesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, nydesigns.shop, and check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.